The guardian of the tomb. When someone dies, their soul embarks on a journey. It leaves the body through the top of the head, specifically the fontanel area, which in babies is a soft spot. In adults, it's a little more difficult for the soul to leave, so the soul gnaws at the sutures of the skull until it can escape. Once it reaches the brain, the soul will cross over to the other side and exit through the ear. The soul then enters the earth through the soles of the feet, traveling down the spine and out through the heels. From there, it goes into the underworld, which is located beneath the surface of the earth. Now, the interesting thing about the underworld is that it's not a place where people stay. It's just a place where people pass through on their way to the afterlife. There are various trials and challenges that the soul must overcome in order to reach the afterlife, but we'll talk about that in another video. Today, we're focusing on the guardian of the tomb, the last obstacle between the living and the dead. This being is so powerful that even the gods are afraid of it. It is the last line of defense between the world of the living and the world of the dead. If this being is not appeased, it will attack anyone who comes too close, dragging them into the underworld. In ancient times, people would leave offerings of food and drink at the entrance to the tomb in order to appease the guardian. They would also place coins on the eyes of the deceased person in order to blind the guardian and prevent it from following them into the afterlife. Some cultures even had elaborate rituals that they would perform in order to trick the guardian. For example, they might put a fake heart or liver outside of the tomb so that the guardian would think that it was the deceased person's heart and liver. And then, while the guardian was distracted, they would take the real heart and liver with them into the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed that the heart and liver were the source of a person's soul, so they had to be taken with the body when it was buried, otherwise, the soul would not be able to rest in peace. That is why you often see images of Anubis, the god of the dead, carrying a scepter that has a heart and liver on it. He needs these organs in order to weigh the heart of the deceased person in the afterlife. If the heart is heavy, then the person has lived a life of sin and their soul will be condemned. But if the heart is light, then the person has lived a good life and their soul will be allowed to move on to the next stage of the afterlife. So the next time you see an image of a tomb, remember that there may be a guardian of the tomb, a powerful being that is protecting the dead from those who are still alive. Thank you for watching.